I'm fishing for catfish. Everything else is just bait. Catfished by a beard. Hello, Reddit. I'm new here and I've never posted a story before, but listening to other stories has inspired me to share my misadventures dealing with a beard of my very own. Oh, lucky you. I hope someone out there will benefit from this and maybe be able to see the red flags that I so obviously missed. It's taken me 3 years to finally be able to open up about this publicly. I suffer a sheer amount of embarrassment and anxiety to even repeat the atrocities that have unfolded. There is a slight spoiler alert here as well. The story will contain some mature content and scenarios later on down the line that might be triggering for survivors of different types of abuse. So, fair warning. With that out of the way, I hold my breath and dive on into the worst 2-year span of my life. Diving for catfish, right? No, not really. Nobody does. For the past 14 years, I've been using my skills as a digital artist in a virtual universe, much like textures one would design for, say, a character in a video game. I design custom skins, clothing, jewelry, furniture, rooms, or even original pieces of artwork for people's display pictures or posters. Things people can buy from my shop and then equip onto their in-game avatars or commission from me directly. Sounds like a sweet gig, honestly. If I had any artistic talent, let me tell you. Well, with that many years of experience, I've actually made quite a name for myself as what they call a pro developer on the platform. I even get paid real money for every piece of my art that sells. It's super fun and very rewarding. I mean, I'd like to know what the split is on that. But if you enjoy the game, if you can make some extra scratch while also keeping it alive, yeah, I think this is a win-win, all things considered. As a severe introvert and sufferer of social anxiety, this is also a great way for me to connect with people from all over the world from the safety of my own home. God, I feel that so much. It's exactly what this YouTube channel is. I've made a lot of longtime friends along the way. Unfortunately, this is also how I inevitably got thrown into the mix with the most manipulative person I have ever had the misfortune of meeting. I will call him WEABEARD. I'm surprised that hasn't been used as a beard name before, honestly. At least not to my knowledge. In this virtual world, there are many ways to interact with your friends, one of them being countless chat rooms that you could enter and either sit or stand in. You can't walk around or fly, like you can in another popular virtual world. I was pinged by a fangirl of mine, and as I was doing nothing more than playing through Oracle of Ages for the umpteenth time, I did accept that chat request, and was promptly transported into one of these chat rooms. As I've grown accustomed to, regrettably, she dragged me in to show me off to the other patrons of the chat room. Oh my god, could you make this any more awkward? I don't like this at all. Fangirl says, "Mute, hi, I want you to meet my friend," she typed almost as soon as I loaded into the room. I grimaced behind the safety of my computer screen, thankful that nobody could see the actual depths of awkwardness that this sort of thing always brings me, and I just put on my most cheerful front. OP, oh, hey fangirl, how's it going? Hi. I sucked in a breath and blew it out as I dragged my mouse cursor over the screen, panning around the small, dimly lit room and zooming in on the other avatars that occupied the space reflected back to me on my monitor. A few people with male avatars, nobody really remarkably stood out to me. Certainly nobody I had met before. My attention started to drift back to my game when a private message plopped into view in the chat box. It was WEABEARD.
"Hey, I'm actually like a huge fan of your work. I just never had the nerve to talk to you before. Sorry she dragged you in here like this.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't at your behest at all. As flattering as it might seem to be complimented all the time, let me tell you, it gets awkward real fast. Especially when you're dragged into a room full of strangers and put on display like some kind of showpiece to be oogled and ogled over. Honestly, I feel this so hard. Even in my own Discord VC, people are like, "Holy God, it's ReddX!" It's like, dude, just say hello. Please, like, I'm a normal dude, okay? I do the silly voices, I read the silly stories, I got a really silly job, but I'm a normal dude. Maybe slightly silly sometimes. Although I was super nervous about being made the center of attention, I tried to remain polite and thankful. I sent WEABEARD a smile emoji and thanked him for his support, telling him to not feel shy around me because, yeah, I'm just a person after all. It never works. Quite literally a nobody outside of this virtual world. He argued with me on that matter, stating,
I disagree. You have a lot of talent. I wish I could create like you can, but I suck at art. So, what are you up to, winky face?
"Oh, we learned from the Adelaide saga, didn't we? Never trust the winky face." I blinked at my screen, taking in the winky face before my eyes and tilting my head slightly. Was this guy flirting with me? No, I decided. He's just being friendly, right? Not right. Always be suspicious. Why does he want to get close to you? Besides, I really had no reason to believe that he was a creep or anything. At least, not yet. Nah, man, benefit of the doubt is not a thing that exists for me anymore, okay? Prove that you're not a creep, and then I'll open the gate. How about that? But yeah, I told him that I was just playing Oracle of Ages, and what ensued was a 3-hour-long conversation about Zelda. I am a super mega fan of Zelda. You get me started, I will not shut up about it. He was seemingly just as big a fan as I was, and so the conversation took off without a hitch. We stayed up late into the night, chatting about a great many things besides Zelda, of course. Both of us sharing our own likes and dislikes with different music and games, YouTube videos, movies, etc. The rest of the room forgotten, as we dissolved into our own little world off in the corner. I mean, okay, it seems wholesome enough. At least he was able to hold it together for 3 hours. I might be tricked into thinking that he's normal too. I'm just waiting for the bottom to fall out. Little did I know that this was all just a ploy to get me closer to him, tangled into his web of deceit and lies, and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Well, my fingers hurt, so I'm gonna end this here for now. Again, I'm new to this, so be gentle with your criticism, lol. Thank you all for giving me the time out of your day to read this. I'll try to post more when I can. Mute. Well, it seems like things are just starting to heat up, but I can definitely see the signs already, although maybe hindsight is just 2020. By the way, best Legend of Zelda game, The Wind Waker. Don't challenge me on this, all right? We'll move on to part 2. Here. Yeah, thanks. You can't change titles on Reddit. One of the great weaknesses of the platform. And it's funny to me sometimes. Welcome back, for those of you that I haven't bored to death already. If you haven't read the first part to my story, I highly suggest you click here. It's in this video, so don't worry about that. In my last introduction, I mentioned being inspired to share my story with you all after hearing so many others. You see, I work graveyard shift, 4 p.m. to 3 a.m., cleaning dusty, dark, decrepit old buildings. I work alone. As you can imagine, this kind of environment can be spooky at times, so what better excuse to pop on some headphones and drown out those terrifying noises with some good old-fashioned Reddit stories. Classic! I highly encourage this. My favorite source for this is ReddX. Hey! And the plug! Yeah! That makes me real happy, thank you. It's hard to feel spooked when you're laughing your ass off. Proven science, totally, go look it up, it's just a fact. If you're tired of hearing some robotic, monotonous voice reading Reddit stories, and you prefer an actual human with a debatably great sense of humor, I highly suggest checking him out over here. And now let's dive right back into the WEABEARD saga. God, you got me with the plug and everything? You're making me tear up. Oh, thanks so much. WEABEARD and I began to spend more and more time getting to know each other in the weeks to follow. both of us having similar interests, gaming, horror movies, anime. It really helped to keep the fire blazing between us. To my knowledge, he seemed like a sweet, funny, all-around great guy to be around, though he was much more heavily into anime than I was, thus the nickname. His real username was something a bit weeaboo-ish too, if I'm really honest. Imagine something like Naruto Kichigo Wolf. Yeah, he legitimately had wolf in his name. Oh boy. Wolf beard, pajama beard, now we got weeaboo, add him into the mix. Why is werewolf beard a trope? I don't get it. What is it with neckbeards and wolves? Honestly, bro, I'm saying. He was easy to talk to, at least, and I found myself confiding in him most of the things troubling me at that time. This moment in time was a bit unstable for me. I was really leaning on him as a friend and confidant. I'd just gotten out of a messy divorce after catching my husband of 5 years cheating on me on Christmas Eve. Oh, God, that's a heartbreaker. But better 5 years than 10, I do suppose. Really am sorry that happened to you, OP. That's a gut punch. And I was hesitant to jump into another relationship, but I did like weeaboo a lot. He, on the other hand, was not too subtle about his attraction to me and his desire to form a more meaningful connection with me than just being friends. I don't know, man. A situation like this feels pretty bad. Have you been open with him about your desire to just be friends and he keeps hitting on you? That's not good. As you've probably noticed, I haven't delved into a proper description of our featured creature just yet, and there's a reason for that. I didn't even know what the dude looked like at this point in time. I had shared pictures of myself with him, of course. Nothing racy, I'm not that kind of girl, but all I had received from him in kind were descriptions of what he looked like from his own word of mouth. Oh, no, it's the 21st century. You need to have a camera somewhere, something. This is all wrong. He described himself as tall, with dark hair and brown eyes, muscular. Typical stuff that would make anybody picture a decently attractive person. Not that this is the only body type I find attractive. My ex-husband was 5'9" and pushing 400 pounds. I tend to fall in love with the person, not their physical appearance. I can't say I feel the same way, honestly. Physical appearance opens the door, then you fall in love with the person. I think that's how I go. I by no means consider myself to be like the epitome of attractiveness. I stand at a whopping 5'3", perfect height for a nut punch if you make me angry. I weigh about 110 pounds soaking wet, hair normally dyed a dark color but naturally a chestnut brunette, greenish blue eyes, and the palest of all white chicks that you've ever seen. Casper ain't got nothing on me. I blind people during the summer. During these first few weeks talking with weeaboo, while sharing pictures of what I looked like, I did ask him to send some of his own, and all I would get in response was, I'm really shy about sharing pics, or, oh, my camera doesn't work at the moment. I'm not buying it, dude. You really like this girl? You gotta bite the bullet. You gotta take the plunge, or else it's gonna be an online thing forever. And you can keep pretending that you're muscular or whatever. You guys, I'm not stupid. I swear. I meet this guy online. He has a great personality. He works out. He's tall, dark, and handsome, but he won't share any pictures with me or even get on a voice call. Of course, I was highly suspicious. Those flags were waving in my face more frantically than one of those wild, wacky, inflatable arm flailing tube man, wild, wacky, inflatable arm flailing tube man. But be that as it may, I, for some reason, decided to overlook this. Oh boy. I didn't have any right to demand that some stranger show me what he looked like over the internet because despite having talked to him for a couple of weeks at this point, we were still just that. Strangers to one another. He had every right to guard his identity from me. Like he said, how did he actually know that I was who I said I was? This all changed in one random summer day when weeaboo decided to accidentally send me the first of many unsolicited pickle pictures. Sausage selfies if you will. Like you're embarrassed to show an actual picture of yourself, but you're showing your most private parts? What is going on? And then of course he tries to cop out and call it an accident. Oh man, this is so bad. If you're not out at this point, I don't know what to tell you. We are already so far beyond unacceptable. WEABEARD sends a picture over Discord.
Most girls can't handle my size.
2 moments later.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
OP. Oh my god. WEABEARD.
You like it?
OP. I thought your camera wasn't working. WEABEARD.
Well, I went out and bought a new one yesterday.
All of this is just super sus, dude. What are you talking about? And the first thing he sends me is a pickle? Really? Not only was this a pickle, but it was a rather large pickle, like almost scary. I don't know if a lot of guys are aware, but there is such a thing as too big. All right, but do you actually think this guy is slinging that kind of schmeat? Or is he just downloading stuff from online and sending it over? Like, yeah, this is totally me. Dig the hole even deeper in hopes that someday she'll love you for no reason. Because the truth is, she has no idea who you actually are. So needless to say, this picture had made our interactions in the coming days slightly awkward. OP, but why are you still interacting with him though? It's time to go. Neither of us brought it up, and I didn't want to start pressing the issue of him having no excuse now not to send me an appropriate picture of himself, lest the pickle incident spring right back up in my face. Pardon my phrasing. But it was actually him that made the first move in this regard. Of course it was. He had a plan this entire time. WEABEARD.
Hey, so now that I have a camera, did you want to do a video call on Discord sometime?
OP? Really? Sure, I'd love to. Maybe we could watch a movie or play a game or something on call. WEABEARD.
Yeah, that sounds fun. How about we do it this weekend? Will that work?
OP? Yeah, I'm off work. It's perfect. I'll see you then. Oh, this is not gonna be good. I looked up from my phone with my heart literally leaping out of my chest. I was gonna do a Discord call with this person that I'd been talking to now for about a month, that had been a complete enigma, and that I did kind of start to like. I mean, like, you know, like. I was nervous as all hell. Nah, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. The day of our scheduled call, I remembered spending a lot of time looking for the perfect outfit to wear, deciding on what I should do with my hair, if I should wear makeup or not, just the general stuff that I normally worry about before I meet some stranger for the first time. This guy was cool, sweet, funny, a little dorky, but so was I, to be honest, and he had become the closest person in my life at this moment, and I had absolutely no idea what he even looked like. And now, I was about to find out. I don't know, man. Some things are just better left as mysteries, I think. This is gonna be ultra disappointing, and I'm kind of living for it. I was absolutely floored. I got my camera ready, adjusted my hair, checked my face, and waited. Soon, the little Discord jingle was ringing out from my computer, and I straightened up, grabbed my mouse, and with a deep, shaking breath, I clicked the green button gleaming at me on the screen. What met me on the other side had all of my hopes and dreams crashing down around me. Oh no! Have I lost some of you yet? No, you've only just hooked me in! Sorry this story starts off a little slow, but I promise the next part, I'll definitely be getting into the thick of it. All of it. Take care, guys. Thanks for reading once again. I hope you're all well. Don't forget to check out ReddX on YouTube. Mute. I was planning to only do the first 2 parts, but I can't drop it here. I need the mystery to be unveiled. What does he look like? How terrible is it? Let's find out immediately as we jump into part number 3 right now. But first, I wanted to remind you, if you haven't subscribed or liked on the video yet, then maybe you could, because you listened this far, so obviously you're enjoying, and I'd like to see you come back for future videos. Thank you so much. Catfished by a Neckbeard, part number 3. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts to this, please do feel free to check them out. The rest of this won't make much sense without them, to be honest. I've been kind of stewing on how to approach this next part of my experience because it is by far going to be the most embarrassing part. Not the abuse part, but just like embarrassing in general. I'm not super proud of my decisions. I should have run away like immediately when these next occurrences happened with WEABEARD, but I didn't. Just bad decisions on my part, but getting all this off my chest is the sole reason that I even made a Reddit account, and I'm starting to lose my nerve and even wanting to continue posting this all here. I'm gonna put on my big girl pants and just muscle through it. Spoilers, there are some mature themes, but I will keep it PG. Well, thank you for that, Mute. I thank you, Susan thanks you. I don't think you should beat yourself up too much about what went on in the past. Like, okay, now you know that you should have walked away immediately, and I think that's a win in itself. You had to go through some crappy stuff, learn some hard lessons, but the lessons are learned. You don't have to go through this again. Let the healing begin. Anyway, WEABEARD had lied to me completely about what he looked like. Surprise, surprise. He was not dark-haired, he was not muscular, he wasn't even tall. I was obviously upset that I was lied to. This guy on the screen in front of me looked to be about 40-something due to the deep furrows across his forehead and his receding hairline, which was red. He was a ginger, pale skin, freckles, all of that. He didn't even look the least bit presentable, being unshaven and disheveled and wearing a stained white V-neck t-shirt. Ugh. The only thing I felt that he didn't lie to me about were his eyes, which were in fact brown. I love that OP went through all of this trying to get set up. And this dude, this pig, this Big Ed incarnate, he couldn't even be bothered.
What a dumpster fire.
You ever talk with someone online and kind of imagine what they might look like based on how they tell you? And then you formed a sort of relationship with said person, and then you do feel kind of let down when you're finally able to see them. Well, that was this, but like times 100,000. I was not attracted to him in the slightest physically. Unfortunately, being the doormat that I am, after kind of establishing a relationship with this guy, I didn't have the heart to call it off just because of his appearance. Okay, but OP, it wouldn't be just his appearance. It's his appearance with the fact that he blatantly lied to you. You're well within your rights to walk away, okay? Don't let nobody play you like this. I already wasted enough of my time. I am out. I felt like I'd be seen as shallow for doing so. I loved his personality, just, not his features. Oh, what happened to the thing you said in part 2, though? Like you fall in love with the person and not their physical appearance, right? That's what this dude was banking on the whole time. Apparently his appearance was a little too much. Also, his room. Oh my God, his room. It looked like the beardiest of all the neckbeard nests that I have ever seen. I mean, I could almost smell it through the screen. Clothes haphazardly tossed everywhere, dirty dishes piled up on the edge of the desk, like a trillion empty soda cans and 2 liters just everywhere. Even a rack of katanas up on the wall, and some anime figurines. Were the figurines in jars? You get the idea. You can't imagine my horror one day when, while we were talking, he lifted up one of these 2 liters, which previously held brown soda, and it was full of a light yellow liquid. Yeah, that was definitely urine. I asked him, and he admitted it. Disgusting. I thought people only joke about doing that kind of stuff. Then you've never raided in World of Warcraft, OP. No, I wish it was only a joke, but it definitely isn't. And here's the proof. Unfortunate. Another thing that became vastly apparent was that he had lied to me about his little pickle picture. I mean, I'm not like a Sherlock or anything, but in the picture of the pickle he had sent me, there was a white water-cooled tower with blue lighting in it under a nice dark hardwood desk in the background of the picture. Yet he didn't own a water-cooled computer, and the room in the background looked nothing like the room that he was in on camera with me. So I straight up asked him, "Did you send me a fake pickle pic? Your room looks, pretty different." He got this super sheepish look on his face, and he admitted that,
yeah, he did send me a picture of a random one that he screenshotted from P-Hub.
I asked him why the hell he would do that, and his answer was pretty lackluster, to be honest.
He was nervous about what I might think of his pickle.
Bro, nobody even asked to see that. We are not anywhere near that point. Why do you feel the need to do these things? Also, yes, I did in fact confront him about the description that he gave of himself, and he just kind of shrugged it off, saying
he always just considered himself to be a brunette, and that he did work out. He just stopped doing it as often, because he was more interested in chatting with me whenever I was home from work.
You mean to tell me that you gained 300 pounds in 2 months? I'm not buying it.
He liked me a lot, he said, so he didn't want to miss a minute of getting to spend time with me whenever he could.
Alert, alert, we've got a level 5 clinger. 3 words, scrape them off. I felt extremely guilty about this nagging feeling in the back of my head yelling at me to just tell him right then and there that I was no longer interested in him and wanted to quote unquote break up. So stupidly, I just overlooked all of it. Always trust your gut feelings, OP. He's got a track record, okay? He's gonna continue to pull this kind of crap. The lies didn't even end there, however. At one point, he told me that he owned his house and lived alone and that he had a naughty room in his basement. Ugh, my spine, I can't. I don't know if this was some kind of attempt to impress me. I'm what's called a sex-neutral asexual, and he knew this. I don't generally get quote unquote in the mood. It just doesn't happen for me like that. I will, however, help my partner out with their needs whenever they are in that sort of mood. The admission of having this naughty room in his basement did nothing more than just give me kinda, I don't know, like cringy vibes. Creepy, disgusted. I can't explain the feeling it gives me when people are overly emphatic on sexual things around me. Uncomfortable, to say the very least. In any case, he had this room, but
oh, it's still under construction, so I can't show it to you right now, but it's totally down there.
Right. Not like I really actually cared, but I just wanted him to stop lying, to try and make himself seem cool to me. No matter how much I tried to get him to understand that he didn't have to lie to me to make me like him, he would constantly come up with ridiculous crap on the daily to try and impress me. Bro, this is so rough. Just pull the plug, would you? Put me out of my misery.
He's my dog, I'll do it.
The final straw came when he spent an entire day trying to convince me to do stuff with him over cam. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I told him I didn't feel comfortable with it, but he kept pushing and pressing and nagging until I finally gave in. Block button's right there, bro. Let's go. So there I sat, starting to remove my shirt when into his room bursts some woman on his end of the screen.
Mommy, I told you to knock.
Oh, I love it. I quickly pulled my shirt back down and shoved my camera to face the wall and heard him mute his end of the call. A few moments later, he was back.
Mute. Babe, I'm sorry, are you still there? Hello?
This is the perfect chance to just ghost. I'm never interacting with this dude again. I reluctantly repositioned my camera and glared at him. I know I was probably bright red in the face. I felt hot with anger and embarrassment. Who was that? I demanded.
Oh, my mom is staying here with me for a little while. I'm taking care of her.
Yeah, that's the line. As if right on cue, his bedroom door bursts open again, and in walks his mother, this time carrying a small pile of folded laundry in her arms. Oh, that's so rich and creamy. Oh, delicious cringe.
WEABEARD, you need to clean up your room. Put these away. Don't just toss them on the floor and forget about them.
She left the room and shut the door, and I stared absolute hellfire into WEABEARD. You live with your mom, don't you? WEABEARD knew he was caught in his lie at this point, so he just kind of drooped in his chair and rubbed at his face, and then finally admitted that,
yeah, he lived with his mom. It wasn't his house.
Why lie? I was so effing pissed at this point, ready to break things off with him right then and there, and well within my rights to do so, to be honest. I really should have. God, I was so stupid. Hindsight is 20/20, but yes, I guarantee you'll never have an experience like this again. We learn and we grow. Don't beat yourself up about your past, because we're all here commiserating with you. WEABEARD promptly started begging me
not to leave him,
even starting to tear up a bit, and mournfully explained that he had lied to me because he thought if I
found out he was a 29-year-old man still living at his parents' house,
then I'd want nothing more to do with him. That, quote,
you're so way out of my league. He'd never normally get a chance with someone like me.
He added that if he, quote,
didn't try to play himself up a bit, I never would have given him the time of day.
Quote, 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 quote. Enough apostrophes. Anyway, seeing him bawl like this and snivel and pitifully wipe at his face with the back of his hands melted the goddamn ice fortress I had just erected around me at this point. I felt bad for him. I truly did. This poor misguided dude had shoved me so far up on a pedestal that he thought I wouldn't even look twice at him if he didn't fabricate some amazing story about who he was. It was a pedestal that I don't really think I deserved, like, at all. I'm not some celebrity model beauty queen worth all that effort, for God's sake. And I softened, and I told him as much. I'm not gonna leave you, WEABEARD. I just want you to understand that I don't care about all this impressive stuff. When I say I like you, I mean, I like you for you. It's got nothing to do with material crap. It's your personality that I like. I just want you to start being honest with me. Please, I chastised. But see, there's the rub, OP. Dude can't even be honest with himself. The only card he had left to play was the pity card. And I get it, you know, you hate to see a fat man cry. But starting a relationship or continuing a relationship out of pity, yeah, that's just not it. WEABEARD finally quit blubbering because he got what he wanted. And he nodded and we just moved on from there. Hopefully, I thought, into a more open and honest relationship, now that all the dirty laundry was aired out. I was wrong. Duh. His lying wasn't even the worst of what he did to me. Eventually, I made the greatest mistake of all time. I allowed WEABEARD to move in with me, into my apartment, in real life. Oh no. you're gonna live in a neckbeard nest next. Oh, it gets so much worse, but I'm getting tired and I think I've spilled enough of my guts for one evening. Take care, and once again, thank you for sticking with me through all this. It's hard for me to relive all of it, but it is therapeutic to get it all out, you know? Mute. If you're brave enough to write it, I'm brave enough to read it, OP. Lots of mistakes were made in this story, but you hold yourself accountable for them. It doesn't seem like you're gonna make them again, so I can't even be mad at you. I'm just like, yeah, that's a thing that you learned. Hopefully other people watching this video will learn from your experiences. Thank you guys so much for watching along with me today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all the things down in the description, you know, TikTok, Twitch, whatever it is. I'd like to thank my Patreon patrons and my channel members. And I wanted to remind you that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. And I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.